I want a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of lonely street called Heartbreak Hotel. I tell you now, oh, I feel so lonely, baby. Oh, but so lonely. I'm feeling so lonely, I could die. What better song to sing on Valentine's Day than Heartbreak Hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go for it. XD's and Cesaro, Kenji Xbox, Lateral Sun, Benjamin's here, Chaz, Shirokage, Kenji Koran, and I got behind. Oh, I got behind. I didn't get it in the behind. Well, no, all right, both. Um, Matthew's here. Member Bears, I remember. TFC's in. Peter, Fireflame, Ivan's in. Hey, good. They actually gave you a notification this time, Ivan. I was Ivan. I think you've been getting notifications just 2-3 hours after. Oh, we got something cool right to start with. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Oh, if this is sales, we're gonna try and keep them on the line and waste their time. Hello. Hello.
Thank you for choosing MasterCard, Visa, and Discover. As our way of saying thanks,
We're gonna
we'd
try
like to reward
keep
you
them
for making
on the
your payment
line
in a timely
just to
process.
torture them, waste their
We're
time.
excited to inform you that you're now eligible to qualify for 0% interest rates on your existing credit card account.
0%.
If you still owe more than $5,000 in total credit card debt, press the number 1 to qualify for lower interest, lower payments.
Hell yeah.
Card services, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And I believe that you hit one to get the lower rates on your credit cards, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so for the qualification, which one of your credit cards do you prefer to use the most?
Probably I got a couple. Probably my one MasterCard I use for more than anything else.
MasterCard. Through which bank do you have it?
Oh, can you hold on for a minute? I got to get it. I can't remember. I can't remember the bank it's drawn on. Hold on, just a second. I'm not near it. I got to go downstairs and grab it. I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right, it's down here somewhere. Oh, she gave up. God damn it. Oh, oh. Either we got disconnected or she gave up on it. Oh, I had it all set up for her. I was going to have to go find my card. Then I was going to... She gave up. And I was playing legit. And I was going to have to go find my card. Then when I found my card, I was going to have to go find my glasses to be able to read the smaller print on the card. And it was going to take a long time. And then eventually I was going to tell her that she'll have to call back later because her mom's not done blowing me yet. Oh, if we get another one... Yeah, if we Guam and Dragon Sphere says, if we get another one, we're going to town. What the hell? What the hell do these people want? I played it right, man. I was right down the line. Yeah, I gotta make the voice sound a little more pathetic than mine already is. I gotta sound a little bit older. Oh yeah, I can go get my card. I don't remember where I put it. Shit. Thanks, brother E. Now I want I want another call. It was a card he gave that Iranian prince. Yeah, Lex. That cash is coming. I think he was Nigerian though, but that cash is on its way. I'm gonna be so fucking rich. I'm gonna be lit right now. Hey, Lute says, is it possible for you to sound older? Sound, yes. Be older? That's every day I wake up and like, yep, made it. Still older. Low testosterone gang. M says can't stay but punch Spaz Kid 20 times for his birthday. Oh, sure, that seems reasonable.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, what 20? Okay, count them off. Here we go. Ready, Oops, watch out. Okay, that was 20. That was pretty quick 20 for an old man. That wasn't bad. Now my shoulders are sore. That's how old I am.
I'm not surprised.
Poppy's almost 19. 20 times, 20 times, 20 times. Dragon Sphere says, yeah, yeah. With the dog's funny. She knows we're screwing around. It's funny actually, Lude. If we're hanging out down in the living room, Brax,
Oh yeah.
she will, and Brax and I pretend. One of us pretends to beat up on the other. She will come after whoever the aggressor is to try and make them stop. She doesn't like us to fight. So if I start with him, she'll come over and she'll start pulling on me. If he starts with me, vice versa. She's funny. You got to give Brax his late birthday punches? You got just 20 birthday punches. Let's see if the dog will get pissed if I do it. Ooms. I'm going to hit him.
Oh no.
Here, let's wait. Let's see if she'll do it now. No, I don't think she will up here. Ooms, watch.
No.
What? Am I supposed to? Oh, the other dog's distracted her. She was doing it too. You hear she started barking at me because she didn't want me to do it anymore, but then she got distracted because those two little idiot dogs downstairs started barking. Shit. Peter enters chat, Dragon Sphere says. Yeah, but that if the other dogs would have shut up, you guys could have seen it. She gets really pissed if we start fighting with one another. Diga says SJW are attacking South Park right now because it's somehow corrupting the kids. Yeah, I saw some of their idiocy. One thing's for sure, South Park goes after everybody, but they're saying that they made a major apology to Al Gore and the entire concept of climate change by making Man Bear Pig real, and it's just. Again, people on the internet who want to have something to complain about, because if you're not perpetually offended, what is there in life? Excuse me. Curtis, how big is the dinosaur dog? She'll stand up straight. No, she's not taller than me. She's taller than my wife, brother E. If she gets up on her hind legs. Not saying much. My wife is not quite 5 foot tall, but she's taller than her. She comes up. Well, she's got that giant head, but if she stands up against me, she's probably right about here. Yeah, SJW say shit about South Park all the time. They do, Em. True. South Park taught me all my favorite words, Junior Falls says. As well they should. I love South Park. When not offended, there's always anime titties. Good point, Yarborough. Wolverine says, can't stay, headache. Oh, that's too bad. Molest him, no homo. Did you really have to? Oh, my God. Did you... Wolverine, you really had to censor molest and homo? What? Here's my question, Susan. If you're giving us, as individuals, the option to censor chat, why fucking do it for us on top of that, then? I don't understand that, because we have options in there. I checked them all to make sure when everybody was getting censored here. Was it during the week last week? They give us options to censor words if we want to, so why do it if... it wasn't asked for? God damn it. Now it's just getting out of hand, Lude. And it's also so random, as we talked about before. Right within the same stream, the same people were able to type certain words sometimes and not others. Oh, you gotta go? Okay, thanks for being here while you could, hon. Pomfu. Sticky stuff. Gotta love that sticky stuff. I still can't believe that. That asshole that was going to give me a good rate on my credit card, I can't believe she hung up. What the fuck? She wants me to have my credit card not only be willing to do it, but I have to have my credit card handy right there because her time is so valuable? I mean, what's she going to do other than maybe possibly, go fuck some farm animals or something? Jamie says, no one fucking censors me. Dragon Sphere's molest Susan. Oh my. So much sticky stuff, right, Em? How much sticky stuff is too much? Never too much. Mouse Potato. Did I miss something? Oh, there's always something to miss here, pal. You know that. I don't react to anything on the stream, of course, BTG, because I like these to go up to the channel. Crystal Beef Arnold Mammoth? I can look it up. Let's see. And like I say, if I start doing that, then we'll just get in a slew of requests for. Oh shit! Hold on, I put that in a Google search instead of a YouTube search. Never mind. Get it on YouTube. Hold on, guys. I'm away from the chat for just a minute. The greatest monster in the Yu-Gi-Oh series, Crystal Beef Arnold Mammoth. What that? Well, you guys know me. I know next to nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh. I'll leave it up there so I can check it out. I'll leave the page open. But again, I like to let the streams go live to the channel now. That's why I don't react to anything here. And plus, I don't want the whole thing to the whole stream to just get sidetracked. Curtis, Susan even refuses to get on Chris Hansen's live stream now. If that's not suspicious, I don't know what is. Yes, true story. We make her the fall guy or fall girl or fall person for everything, but it's just YouTube's issues are so largely self-generated because they're so worried about public perception of everything that it just completely destroys their judgment for anything else. Dragon, I didn't catch that. What are your thoughts on Ari Shafir? Jesus Christ. What are your thoughts on Ari Shafir? I think he needs to tone things down, especially after he said about Kobe's death. I missed that one, Dragon. Oh, geez. What the hell did they say about that? I'm not familiar with him at all. I'll have to look it up. Face cam only put. Oh, okay. I'll do it quick. Hold on just a second, BTG. I didn't see what he said at all. Let me just copy that. No, I completely missed that one. Let me put in Ari Shafir and Kobe. See, Kobe's death is the one thing you can't joke about, according to comedians. Ari Shafir returns to sports podcast but doesn't acknowledge video. I'll have to look it up. Kobe Bryant joke goes wrong, revealing comedy's troll side. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if I can get more details about it. Shafir's video went viral, jubilantly remarking the death of Kobe Bryant. Shafir says the guy who got away with rape got his today. Oof. And tweeted a similar message, though the video is now deleted and his Twitter account is now locked. Well, okay. Here's where I stand on things like that. And I'll get to that video in just a second, BTG. On things of that nature, you guys know me. I'm very, very much a free speech person. However, that said, and this goes back to my own stand-up comedy career, I am aware that freedom of speech is not freedom of consequence. I have been kicked out of, when I was doing stand-up for a living, I was kicked out of 3 different clubs because they didn't like my material. Because I was too harsh, whatever the case may be, or they were too uptight, depending on whose perspective. But they have every right to kick me out of their club. They didn't say, hey, you can't say that. They said, you can't say that here in the place that I own. So that's where I am. I think he should be able to say whatever he wants. But if you're going to say things like that are going to offend a great number of people, you really can't be a little bitch about it if somebody says, well, no, I don't like that, so I don't want you to play here. That's where I stand on it. So, like I say, it's coming from personal experience. It's happened to me. Ryan, oh, thanks, pal. Happy Valentine's Day to all you guys. I almost forget about that. Hey, Steve's here, Assassin Exization. I was just watching a live stream yesterday a few minutes ago. It was very interesting about the healthcare. Yeah, we're going to, that might be one of the topics. After tomorrow's stream, I'll set up Sunday, because Sunday streams now are always for the podcast. I'll set up Sunday's podcast stream, but I'll announce it here on YouTube so you guys all get to see it. Yeah, I enjoy talking that stuff. Willie Place. Next random call answer. Marco's Pizzeria and Abortion Clinic, where your loss is our sauce. And then back touch. That's rough. I hadn't heard that one, Willie. Brax. They want me to. Willie wants me to answer the next garbage call. Marco's Pizzeria and Abortion Clinic, where your loss is our sauce. Oh, that's just wrong. That makes me laugh. Dolphin. How do you stop a baby from choking? Don't take your cock out of its mouth. It will stop moving eventually. Jesus Christ. Yow. Free speech America, fuck yeah, Junior Paul says. Due process is still a thing? I don't know what you're talking about, Flame Enforcer. Due process for what? Not for... Due process is not a thing at all when it comes to, like, somebody wanting to have you in their club or not. No, absolutely not. It's... And again, I'm the biggest free speech advocate you'll find, but they have every right to say, no, I don't like your material. You're not welcome here. Even if you were booked, like happened to Ari, they have every right to cancel that booking. I mean, that just is what it is. Again, I'm big on freedom of speech. Had to face the consequences of it many times. It doesn't leave you free of consequence. Jamie, I tried to say, I'm going to figure out what Jamie's censored words here. I tried to say, fuck Susan's dried up pussy, but she had the audacity to censor me. That's good. and it's funny how, and that was the thing too, for those of you who don't know, always made all of us here laugh, is the first censorship was on Super Chats. So figure that out. Okay, hold on. BTG had that. Again, I don't want to put any videos up on the stream because I don't want the issues that come along with that. But hold on, I'll put on my headset. He wanted me to see this is the greatest monster in the Yu-Gi-Oh series, Crystal Beef Arnold Mammoth. And like I say, I'm away from the chat just for a second while I watch this, guys. Greatest monster in Yu-Gi-Oh animated Crystal Beef. Oh, jeez. Oh, I should have figured when Arnold was in there.
Hasta la vista, baby! I'll be back! Huh, looks like a costume party. Yes, you want some pancakes?
That voice, the Arnold voice seems to go with that creature pretty well, actually. I kind of get that. Oh, shit, that's good. Oh, hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Let me catch up. The stream is so random and it's funny and very enjoyable. Well, good, Firefly. That's what the Free for All Fridays are supposed to be. Dragon Sphere says also those rape allegations were dismissed. Absolutely were, and there were DNA insider from 5 different guys. No proof, no guilt. I completely agree with you. That's another reason it's not going to sit well with a lot of people is calling him, and that I agree with 100%. Okay, it was settled. The case was settled. That does not equate to guilt whatsoever, especially, whenever you're talking about somebody who's high profile in the limelight, those people get false accusations all the time. We all know that. I'm not saying hers was false or it legitimately happened. I'm saying we don't know. So for anybody to come out and say that he was a rapist, if you didn't expect backlash, you're just pretty fucking dumb. Morgan, Chris, I'm out and about. Want to say hi? Oh, well, good. I'm glad you popped in when you could, Morgan. I want to be out and about, but the authorities tell me not to. I don't know why they got to be like that. The VA director went, the mammoth sounds like Arnold. Yeah. It actually fits, BTG. Because even watching it, you're like, yeah, I get that. Steve, Assassinization says, ever think of getting an Xbox One? We actually had one, Steve, but what happened was we weren't playing console a lot anyway. Brax has moved largely to computer, to PC. I moved largely to PC. So we had to decide on one or the other, and we went with the PS4. Mainly because Xbox just kind of pissed me off when they went from 360 to Xbox One, because I went initially with Xbox One because we loved the indie games that were on 360, and then they went to one and there was next to nothing for them. So it kind of irritated me. Flame Enforcer says, who's going to win, Mayor Booty or Senator Kami? I think Mayor Booty's going to have a real problem starting in Nevada. I think he'll do better with people of color than they're giving him credit for, but I don't think it's going to be well enough. I think Senator Kami probably ekes out a win in Nevada, and then we really start to get clarity in South Carolina and to a much larger degree on Super Tuesday, when you get all those different states with all the different makeup, ethnic makeup, then we'll get a really good idea. Senator Comey's thing is going to be young people and people that are all about the free stuff. Give everybody, pool their money to the government so they can redistribute it back to me, and I can have this and that. It's just going to be in what numbers they're out there, because anybody who doesn't believe in that method is just searching for another one of the candidates, and it'll be a case of seeing where they all do end up lighting, put it that way. Bimby says, settled, Bill Clinton paid to get suit dropped. I'm not sure what we're talking about, Bimby. We're talking about Kobe and his accusations. I'm not sure. With Bill Clinton, you got to be way more specific. He's had so many issues of that nature that we got to be specific about which one. Teutonic Warrior says, Curtis, I heard one person who voted for Pete wanted to change her vote once the person knew he was gay. It was hilarious. Really? How pathetic is that? If you voted for someone because you like his or her stance on the issues, what would who they like to have sex with have to do with that? That's why I always said, back when Clinton got impeached, I said it was bullshit because I really don't care if he's getting blowjobs. Could not possibly care less. Has nothing to do with his ability to govern the nation and to make policy. The reasons that people base some of their voting habits on just freaking boggles my mind. That's very possible, Dragon. He says if Bernie doesn't win the nomination, his supporters are going to stay home in November. I think that will be a large falling apart of the vote blue no matter who. But let's be fair, Bernie isn't blue, and that's why all this happens. He's independent, always has been. He wants a shot at being president, which is why he aligns himself with the Democrats, but he's not a Democrat. So it's much easier, I think, for his legion of followers to just say, screw it, I just won't bother, because they're not necessarily, many of them are Democrats, but in large part, they're not necessarily Democrats that follow him. He's not a Democrat, and people tend to forget that, and that's why I agree with you. Plus, they'll feel that he got screwed out of the nomination. To a large part, it will probably be true, because you can bet the DNC does not want Bernie Sanders with that nomination. Twitter tiny URL? Okay, hold on a second, though. BTG, whenever I get these links, I got to go away from the chat. I got to remember the protocol for tiny URL. Hold on just a second, guys. What was it? Tiny URL. I think that was nope. Oh shit. Tiny URL. Was this it? Slash, is that how? There it was. Okay, I got it. I can confirm. Oh, Sean Schemmel. I can confirm this is the. Oh no, that's. Yeah, I can confirm this is the real audio, and yes, I voiced two of the characters in the scene. Some might find this work. That, like I say, it fit the character perfectly. It absolutely fit the character perfectly. The Arnold. Bernie gets a lot of independents like me. Among the Democrats, he does pretty well. No, I that wouldn't have made any sense. I was just about to say, among the Democrats who have proclaimed that they are, I don't even know how I want to put this, because they stated it eloquently during the primary, and I don't remember exactly how they put it. But the ones that are not necessarily entrenched as Democrats, put it that way, yes, he does well with them. How well he'll do with independents in general, I don't think he's going to do that well. We'll see. We'll find out. I don't think he's going to do it. And you can't tell in the primaries because it's only Democrats. I don't think he'll pull enough independents to beat Trump, because I don't think there are enough independents that are looking towards socialism as a positive means of government. As Steve says, fair enough. Yeah, Xbox One indie games were so good. Oh, they were so fun. Remember the comedy one where your avatar was on a stage? Yeah, it was comedy night. Yes, that one was a blast. That one still, last I knew, still exists. But so many of those ones, you remember, Steve, all those different games we played, the dating simulator thing and everything that we had so much fun with. All those companies that were making those cool little quirky games, they're gone. Fat Guy says, I can never vote for Bernie. Seems like a nice guy, but capitalism and guns are too important to me. Yeah, I'm the same way, Fat Guy. I don't like socialism as a form of government whatsoever. Dragon says, I was surprised how well Amy did in the primary. So was I. I don't think she has any staying power. I think you might be right. I was shocked by how well she did. I think she's somebody that if the Democrats coalesce behind her, she would beat Bernie. I really do. She appeals to such a wide swath. She would get, I think, everybody but the extreme left. The extreme left wants nothing to do with Amy. But I think she would get pretty much your day-to-day, down-the-line Democrats, your conservative-leading Democrats. I think in a general, she would even pull a lot of votes away from Trump. I can honestly say, she is the only Democrat I've seen that I would have to think about who I'm going to vote for in the presidential election. But like you, Dragon, I'm not sure she has any staying power. We'll find out a lot in Nevada. If she gets, I'm going to say, above 15% in Nevada, she might still be viable. If not, it's probably over. Flame Enforcer. She was religious, so she won't vote for a gay guy, but the whole abortion thing's okay. It'd be funny if the first gay female president was Republican. It would be. Enforcer. He's talking about, he heard from someone earlier who had voted for Pete Buttigieg in the primary, and then this woman was appalled and wanted to change her vote when she found out he was gay. That's just, I mean, that's beyond the pale to me. Again, if you thought highly enough of him and his stance on the issues, what on earth? I can't wrap my brain around it. Why would you not want him to be the leader of your nation because who he prefers to have sex with? Hashtag poster girls for president. Hashtag porn star president. Titties for president? Yes, please. My mom, Memberberry says, my mom's independent and would have voted for Bernie last election, but when it came to Trump versus Hillary, she took Trump because she wants someone who's a straight shooter and doesn't hide shit. And the thing of it is, you're right, Memberberry, Trump got over with a lot of people that way, and I voted for him, but I voted for him knowing for a fact, maybe it's because I'm a New Yorker, and so we've seen a lot of Trump long before the days of his reality show or anything. I knew he's not a straight shooter, and he's a bullshitter. I knew that going in, but his policies so much more closely aligned with mine that I voted for him. But yeah, it's one of those things where, unless it's Amy Klobuchar, I'll have some thinking to do. Outside of that, I'll be voting for him again, but I can't get happy and excited about it. It's just, I'm going to be voting for him. Porn star recommendations, Britney Spears. RBNY says, Curtis, would you say you're a Democrat or a Republican? Definitely neither. Because I can list you handfuls of things on both sides that one side would enjoy and the other side would be appalled by. Right now, I consider myself leaning right, and that's only because of the socialist influence within the Democrat Party, that they're leaning too far left. I don't like extremists. When the Republicans were leaning Tea Party way and going extreme right, I considered myself left-leaning. And now that the Democrats, I believe, are going way too far left, I lean right. So I'm as pretty much as independent as you can get in that respect. Who needs porn star for POTUS when we have Melania? That's true. with her as the first lady. Can any candidates be shortened? Say to JoJo. Oh, now that would be a case, BTG, where I've always said, like, every year now, and you'll see it this year, when we come up with the presidential election, there'll be the big push to get the vote out. And they'll say, it's your civic duty, get out there and vote. That's stupid. I just think that's asinine. If people don't aren't interested, don't push them to vote. Why do people want ignorant votes out there? If somebody's like, listen, whatever the reason, I think they're all shit, so I don't learn about any of them, that's fine. You're entitled to that, but then don't vote. If you didn't learn about them, I say stay home. But yes, if you could just shorten it to JoJo, that would be a rare case where I would circumvent that and say I'm voting for the JoJo person. Eminem for president. He already has a campaign speech. Teutonic Warrior says, I'm a New Yorker. Oh, you are too? And I am slightly aligned with him as he has done good. I am not a Democrat or Republican. Yeah, that's the same way I am. I would never align with either party because I don't agree with the party platforms down the line on either side. Joseph Stostar for president. Indeed, Big Green. Dennis says, have you ever seen The Rum Diary with Johnny Depp? No, I haven't. A quote from the movie is, if you can't do your best to give me a steak, how about you do your best to fuck off? I like that quote. Seeing as how red meat is clearly going to have a lot to do with my eventual demise, yeah, that's me. You're from New York too, Kenji? We got a number of New Yorkers here. Uncle Curtis needs to be president. Yeah, that's what we need, Jamie. I would still have Free for All Friday streams. I don't give a fuck. Wouldn't that create a nightmare for the social service? Or the social service. We're talking about politics. I just immediately go to social services. For the Secret Service? Okay, Fireflame Wolf. Thanks for being in while you could. Lute says, mods seem to not be censored in chat as much as regular people from what I found. Mods couldn't say the word pedophile yesterday, so that's apparently censored too. You can't call kid molesters pedo. Yeah, now why would you... I don't even ask questions about why YouTube does things anymore. It's just so fucking ridiculous. Mod says, you aware of the motion captured hentai titty streamer that triggered a ton of cam girls? No. Cartoon women instantly jumped to the top of the streaming city and real bitches mad they got shat on. No, I didn't hear about that. Oh, you're not from New York. York knew. Oh, I didn't catch it, Kenji. Yeah, I wish I was from New York new. Go hang out with my boys. Arthur, I was them, but Trump's blown my expectations away. Again, I stand behind Trump mostly on policy. I just could do with a lot less ego. I could do with a lot less of the stupidity and the name calling and all that shit. Just do your job. That's what I voted for you for. Just do your job. Don't pick a fight with everybody. Just go out and do what you need to do. Now, is it totally on him? No, because the media has become just as bad as he has, and that's even more disappointing to me, that you have places like CNN and the New York Times just throwing away all journalistic integrity to get into slap fights with the president. But yeah, I would like to have less talk and just more presidential, I don't even say presidential demeanor, just presidential action. Free for All Friday chats can discuss foreign policy. Yes, Free for All Friday is for everything. You're right, Jamie. Every place. Steve says, I've been rewatching your Outlast videos over the last week. Did you ever finish it? No. The reason I didn't, a lot of the games that we started on stream and didn't finish were for the same reason. I couldn't get the streams to run right, and it just got frustrating. And it wasn't fun for people to watch because every time I'd play a game, my camera would get out of sync with the action on the screen and everything. And now that I've gotten it all worked out, I was able to go back, and now we're able to, that's why we're getting through Resident Evil 2 and GTA 5 so well, is because it all works now. It works. Edgar says, testing, big asses, anal, penis, cream pie was good though. Cream pie went without a problem. That's good. Gigmax says, did you see the Goosh community tab? I made something. No, I haven't been over there in a while. It's bad. I spend my days pretty focused on getting everything done, and I don't get over to things like community nearly as much as I should, because I want to make sure I stay in the main area so I can see all the comments on the videos and stuff. Dragon Spheres, I'm back and got a lot to catch up on. Oh, that Dragon Spheres, I like that picture. Oh, I got to tell you too, Gigamac. Ladies and gentlemen, if our Goose-Stick Overlord did not already inhabit every minute of our dreams and nightmares, now he will. Curtis as a Titan. I like that. Curtis as a Titan is pretty cool. That's badass. Yep, I like that. that face fits disturbingly well into there too, Gigamac. It's scary how easily it fits. Dragon says, I don't get how Susan likes to censor so many people, and yet people like Onision are still allowed to make videos. Yeah, that's a good point too, Dragon. She's worried about censoring potty words, but has no concerns about insanely toxic people. BTG, journalistic integrity. That one of them fancy oxymorons like French resistance. And boom, and there's one for the French. Oh, that's rough. Oh, I gotta tell you guys too. The company I buy my t-shirts from had a sale, and that's why I get my shirts, because goddamn, I can't afford them otherwise. I got a shirt coming. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's one of the and the terminology is going around my head. Hold on, guys. It's one of the scouts from Attack on Titan. Looking at the picture on there, I can't tell if they were actually trying to draw one of the specific characters like Levi or something, or if it was just a generic one. But in any event, one of the scouts is up there in the air with the full gear on and both swords about to come down, and he's yelling Titan, and he's about to slash up Robin from Teen Titans, and Robin's just standing there going like this. The picture's cool. I can't wait to get the shirt. Jamie says, I'm freezing my tits off in SoCal. How can this be? Someone warm my titties. Titty warmer. Oh, yeah, we're going to get it tonight. We've had a really decent winter as far as not having extreme cold. But tonight, Jamie, we're going, our air temperature, not the wind chill, our air temperature is going down to -2 tonight. So, I'm not happy about it. Excuse me, miss, may I please see your face? I love that, Arthur. Brooke is so cool. He endeared, as soon as he said that, he endeared me to him. Yeah, Brooke is badass. I don't know what the hell's going on with him now, if that is indeed him, what I've seen so far, or why he's got to be a dick like this. But the whole asking for the panties thing, yeah, that's a class move. Oh, Dragon says, did you know that diarrhea is hereditary? It runs in your genes. Oh, Benjamin, my name is Michael J. Caboose, and I hate babies. Michael J. Caboose is a legend. That he is one of my all-time favorite characters. So how does one explain all the cold here, but Antarctica is melting? Well, you know where I stand on climate change, Jamie, is absolutely the climate change is a real thing. I find it questionable how much man has to do with that, considering the wild swings in climate we've had in the history of this planet all along. I just personally, from what I read and what I can glean from what people way smarter than me have written, I don't see that we're having as big an impact on it as some people seem to think we are. Peter, melted Hershey's stained in boxers. I love Hershey's. I don't even care if they're stained in boxers. Just anything Hershey's. Oh. Unfair plane. Brooklyn Rage. The best solution to climate change is capitalism, Flame Enforcer says. Again, and who knows, but I just don't think that mankind has had as much effect on climate change as again, a lot of people seem to think we have. To think that in any aspect that this planet, and I don't mean to be Little Mary Sunshine, but to think that this planet, given all the ways that the planet itself could meet its end, or that life on the planet could meet its end, with all those different possibilities out there, I think it's wildly optimistic to think that we have any specific number of years to go anyway. So, space, Big Green says. Peter, goosh goosh. Climate change is a massive problem because we might have to move our stuff, BTG says. Yeah, that Straka, you're not really wrong. He said, he quotes, "Quick, everyone, let's save the planet," said everyone scrambling to save it the fastest despite not knowing how. You're right. You're right. There's a lot more. There's a lot more people identifying the problem than there are those offering the solutions. It's just like I always say about, you'll have the people that are still to this day screaming about the kids in cages and the kids in cages. It's a horrific thing. Well, that's fine. What's the solution? And that's where they stop. It's like, okay, well, you identified the problem and you've told us everybody that's evil because of it. What's the solution? Because the only real solution, given the numbers that were trying to come across the border at the time, is to throw the borders open. And anybody that thinks that's a good idea is someone that really needs to just go away. So, but there's a lot of topics like that where everybody's screaming about a situation but don't have any solutions to make it better. They just like to scream about the fact that they know that it's wrong. Let's see. Curtis, you hear about the 6-year-old South Carolina girl that was abducted? No, I didn't. The girl was missing for a few days and they just found her body along with a man's body. Oh, that's a shame. No, I didn't hear about that one, Brother E. That's awful. Anytime it's kids, that gets me. Mike says, yes, this is true. What the left doesn't understand is the U.S. is only responsible for about 15% of the total global emissions, but they want us to destroy our economy. Right. They want us to destroy our economy without any type of guarantees or even thoughts that China, India, nations like that are going to try and work along with us to cut those emissions. And without, again, I know there's a lot of scientists that will tell you that we are, as humans, we are responsible for climate change. There are also a very significant number of scientists who will tell you, no, that's not the case. This is more of the natural design or the natural progression of the planet. So you don't know for 100% that's what's going on. And you're right. So do you destroy the entirety of the economy over that? But you got a lot of people who will not even look at another alternative. It's just because they heard their TV tell them that people are destroying the climate or creating climate change. So that's what they go with. BTG, this is what I like. This is combining issues to come up with a solution. Kids in cages as a solution to global warming. Exactly. Oh, hold on a second. The economy is already screwed. I don't think so, James. You think so? I don't think so. I think our economy is doing okay. I think the economy is screwed if we move towards socialism. I don't think there's any doubt. But I mean, it can always be better. But I don't think the economy is really all that bad right now. Dragon says, I find it amazing how these politicians make speeches about climate change and then jump on their private jets to go make the speech in another city. That's as bad as it gets, Dragon. I'm with you on that. That is just the absolute essence of, I don't even know what the term I wanted, of just stuffing it right in people's faces. You know, yeah, and it goes on all the time. And then people say, well, they just because someone believes something doesn't mean that they don't have a need to make do with the technology that we have. Well, then shut up about it. If you're not willing to live by it, shut up. Well, they need, if they go make that speech, who knows how many people they might reach. Yeah. Who knows how many people they won't reach, and maybe that jet didn't have to fly across the sky and change the temperature from 80 to 93 in a heartbeat. I've always said that exact same thing. You know they aren't genuine because they hate nuclear. Yeah, I mean, nuclear power is, to me, the solution to a lot of the ills of the world. But everybody's worried about the potential for nuclear catastrophes and how do we get rid of the nuclear waste. Well, the nuclear waste problem is less significant than the issues with many other forms of energy creation, certainly with fossil fuels. And the thing of it is, the one they like to point to is the when the tsunami hit Japan, and I can't think of the name of the reactor. You guys will remind me. But the reactor that went underwater and was breached. In fairness, the Japanese were told when they built that reactor that that's not a good spot. And they were told this by people throughout the world, experts in the field, saying you don't want to be that far below sea level or that little bit above sea level. I don't remember what it was, but you don't want to be at that level with that nuclear reactor because some bad things could happen, and they went ahead with it anyway. So in cases like that, it's people that are to blame. And then you have somebody put it in the Fukushima, yeah, Fukuyama or Fukushima, wasn't it? Yeah, Fukushima, like Jamie said. They were told, I remember reading it at the time, and they linked back to articles that had been written advising the Japanese people. It's like, don't build it right there. And the same thing with the incident in Russia. But Russians, we know that they don't have an EPA, that they do what they're told. The government has carte blanche. They just do whatever they want. So who knows what happened in there? But we do know that the technology, what kids in cages, get out of my basement, Lick says. We do know that the technology of nuclear in general and of nuclear plants is far, far superior, certainly to the days of 3 Mile Island or anything. So I think it's the obvious choice. Economy's biggest lie. More debt exists than money. Well, the economy in large part, BTG, just our concept of money is really kind of abstract when you think about it. But given the parameters that we currently work on, I don't think the U.S. economy is in bad shape right now. Fukushima was a big fucky uppy. Yes, Mickey. Well put. Steve says, Free for All Friday means say what the fuck you want. That's exactly what it means. Whatever you want to say. It's going good, Jonathan. Glad you guys listen in. Which decade of music was the best? 60s, 70s, or 80s? Ooh, boy, I don't know. Going nowhere. See, that's one of those things where, for me anyway, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in, because they were quite different. Each decade was. 70s, of course, had disco, and that drags them down a little bit, but they also had some great music in there as well. 80s, some of the hair bands from the 80s were actually quite good. 60s had classic rock and roll. I can't say which one is best because it depends on what I feel like listening to. I listen to on my playlists and everything. I have music from all three of those decades, substantial amounts of music from all three of those decades. So that's why it's not a cop out. It's just it all depends on my mood, which one I prefer the most at a given time. BTG says y'all should embrace wind turbines. Turbine equals slower wind. Global turbines equal no storms. Newton grumbles about sensor. Matriarchal fornicator. Turbine equals slower wind. Japan exposed to most radiation, yet made hentai. True, Arthur. That's true. And that radiation did not stop them from creating the quality hentai, so maybe nuclear isn't as dangerous as everyone seems to think or is leading us to believe. Member Barry says, the economy's all right, but it's being predicted that if Bernie wins and stops the export of American oil, the Dow Jones and NASDAQ will drop 30 to 50%. People's entire retirement fund will be lost. You should expect, if Bernie were to become president, there will potentially be a huge, huge downturn in the markets. Because, again, you're talking about putting a socialist in as president of the United States. Socialism does not work well within the market, within anything in the capitalist system. Yes, it could get ugly, and it could get ugly a lot quicker than it has in other places. It's all going to depend on how many people are willing to step up and from the Democrat Party and say, okay, what you're doing here is too extreme. We're not going that far. To be honest, if Sanders gets in, I don't think he can implement most of what he wants to do anyway, because he'll get blocked by Congress. But we'll see. Well, no, hopefully we won't see. If he gets elected, we'll see. Let me see. Who cares about the danger? BTG says more hentai, more good. Well, I agree. Hentai. If it adds to the overall content over at Pornhub and Xvideos, I'm for it. Dragon says, I learned an important lesson when I was a kid. Taking a piss in my dad's brand new ice chest is a good way to get in trouble. I can see Dad being a little off put by that. Yeah, I gotta side with your dad on that one, Dragon. I like to stick up for you, pal, but yeah, he He had cause there. Straga says, I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths. That's pretty good. Maz says, hentai tit streamer called Project Melody can be found on Chaturbate, Pornhub, and Twitter. Safe for Work channel on YouTube, and I think Twitch too. You're welcome. There you go, everybody. Check out Project Melody. That's true. That's true, Expert Gamer, what you're saying. Yes. Bernie is like Donald Trump in that he is only a Democrat or Republican when it's in his own interest. That is true. I agree with that. Because a lot of people don't realize that that Donald Trump is not a lifelong Republican, nor is he a lifelong conservative by any stretch of the imagination. If you have a 401k, then you know the economy is good. Absolutely, Arthur. Right now it is. Yeah. Everyone with a 401k should be very happy with the economy as it stands right now. That will, obviously, Bernie Sanders getting elected president, I think will put a major, major hurt on that. Death Note, I love Death Note. Dopey TBE. That's we finished that a while ago over at the Goosh. I love Death Note. It was fantastic. You don't need to spam it. I saw it. It's a great anime. Member Barry says, I think Buttigieg would be a good president, but seeing how the Middle East doesn't put up with homosexuality, I think he'd weaken our relationship with them, and it's bad enough already. That may be true, Member Berries, but I don't think we, as Americans, we should ever allow that to be a deciding factor in how we cast a vote. I mean, if any interests in the Middle East don't like that we have a gay president, fuck them. I mean, seriously. We can't allow our way of life and what we find as acceptable as a society to be dictated by people in other parts of the world and what they see as acceptable. The worst part, Dragon says, the worst part was that I lied about it and got caught. I got my ass whipped. Well, that's always the worst part. Dragon, I think with any of the kids, and Braxton, when he was little, he caught onto this early on. He figured it out. It's so much worse to lie because you're getting more trouble, more times than not. You're going to get more trouble for the lie than you were going to get in trouble for the original offense. BTG says, interest, as a practice, is asking for money that doesn't exist. And any economy that runs on a system with it, read all of them, is doomed to fail. I wouldn't say doomed to fail, because even BTG, even those elements of the economy or money in general that are more pie in the sky ideas are ideas that can be perpetuated forever, really. So I wouldn't say doomed to fail. It does make, when you actually look at how our system of money is based, and then by extension, the economy is based off of money, of course, it's a little unnerving. But I don't think it's doomed to fail because I think it's something that can be perpetuated for permanency, really. Evan says, would you be willing to react to a band called Lady Baby? You think you'd find their song Nippon Manju entertaining? Turn on closed captions. I haven't done any reacting to bands, Ivan, and the reason I would hesitate to do it is because if I start anything like that or even go into anything like that in any way, shape, or form, I'm just going to get deluged with the requests. It's like, well, now you got to see this song, or you got to see that song, and I've never liked the idea of reacting to music just because a lot of times for me, music isn't nearly as visceral a reaction as a good comedy, a good drama, a good storytelling. And I don't think they make for really good reaction videos. So that's the only reason I wouldn't do that. And that's the only reason I've never done any music video reactions or music reactions. Dragon says, when I was a kid, the sound of my dad's belt coming off was not a fun sound. You and me both, brother. You and me both. I lived that one too. Steve says, any idea at all if you might come to UK, Europe in the future? All I know is I would love to do it, Steve. If it became financially feasible at any point, it will definitely happen. But I don't know for sure. Well, I'm glad you made it in, Joshua. Let's see. Lou's talking to Maz. You can still watch Devil Artemis version of Vegeta's Sacrifice. Yeah, I've got a lot of DA stuff I need to watch still, Jeff. you guys know how I feel about Devil Artemis. I think he's absolutely brilliant, and we've got tons and tons of stuff to do over at DA's channel yet. Next, I just want to watch the second part of the series I'm on right now. Haroon says, Curtis, was your favorite song King by Lauren, or am I mistaken? Well, I don't know if it's my favorite all time, but it's clearly one of my favorites. I love that song, Haroon. I absolutely love it. She's just, her singing, her voice is brilliant. That song is fantastic. Again, I don't know if it's my favorite of all time, but every place that I have a playlist, whether it's on my phone or on Spotify or wherever it may be, it's always King. Lauren Aquilina is who he's talking about, for any of you guys wondering. King is always on it. Always on it. I love that song. It's fantastic. Let's see. Jamie says, I was lucky. I never got physical beatings as punishment. My mom did that, to my older siblings, but by the time I came along, it was all about the psychological. That can be worse sometimes, Jamie. I see, the way I always looked at that with kids, as far as corporal punishment, spankings, or whatever, it all depends on the individual. Braxton never needed them. First of all, he's a good kid. Second of all, he was the type of kid that if you were upset with him, if he was in trouble, that was punishment enough, because it really bothered him. He didn't want to do the bad thing, and he didn't want his parents feeling disappointed in him or anything, so never had any issues. Me, if my dad wasn't willing to I can guarantee, I remember being a kid. If you weren't willing to hit me, I wasn't going to do what you wanted me to do, because that's just the type of douchebag I was. So if you say, hey, don't do this, and it's like, or what, you're going to yell at me? It's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking do that all day. Now if it's, don't do that, or I'm going to kick your ass, and it's like, I kind of don't want my ass kicked. So it all depended for me on the individual. Let's see. Red Fox. Oh man, I got the belt like maybe twice, and all Dad had to do was give me the look, which I've called the Nazi death stare. Well, see, Red, and that was similar to mine in the respect, but again, and just for me, this doesn't go for everybody. I don't approve of everything, the things that my dad did all the way down the line. Don't get me wrong, but as far as that, it was the right thing, because if you weren't willing to hit me, to give me a whooping, I would have been out of control, and I would have done too many bad things. So for me, it was a necessity. Jamie says, Spaz Kid is exactly how I was as a kid. Mom was lucky. Yeah, you'd never even have to think about when he was a kid, giving him a spanking or anything like that, because he's a good person, and he didn't want you to be upset with him. He wanted to do the things right that he was supposed to. So if you even said, you don't even have to raise your voice. If you even said something to him in a concerned tone, it was like, he's like, yeah, cool. I'll do whatever you want to be doing the right thing. Going Nowhere says, who you're closer to, your mother or your father? I don't think I was necessarily closer to, maybe a little closer to my mother. I don't know. Probably a little closer to my mother. My mother was more open with affection, so probably my mother. Flaming Force says, I was already bigger than my dad when I was a teen, so that was the end of any beating. See, my dad was about the same size that I am now. We as adults, we grew to about the same size. I had enough respect, even though I didn't respect everything he did, that as I got older, see, my interests were always in fighting. I told you guys I was into boxing for years before I even started getting into wrestling, and I used to take all kinds of martial arts and stuff. So, in other words, I was just into my late teens when I can guarantee you I could have whooped his ass if I wanted to, but I would never do that. I would walk, even if there ever was a conflict, I would have just walked away from him before I did that. But yes, there came a point where I could. Chatbot videos, I tried them a couple times, Smiggy, and nobody seemed to be interested. Since we used to do them, because I always watched with you guys when I put something new up, or it doesn't have to be new, anything up at the YouTube channel. As I've said, I don't just watch number of views, I watch the watch time. Because to me, that's one of the things YouTube has right. I think watch time is the best way to determine if people are enjoying what you're posting. And people just seem to have lost interest in the chatbots and lost interest in Omegle. And again, I get it, I guess. It's just that we have a different crowd in here now than we used to. But that's what I try and keep. Because any content I make, I enjoy. I won't make something just to make it. It's because I enjoy doing it. So given that, I try and do the stuff that people will enjoy along with me. That's why you guys at the YouTube channel get things like, and so far it's working, the Dragon Ball Super, those updates that I get from the Patreon, because they get really long watch time, which tells me that that's something that you guys are enjoying me bringing over here. Arthur says everyone should buy in the S&P 500 with leverage in a broker because it's going to skyrocket when Trump gets reelected. I do, especially Arthur, if Sanders gets the nomination and Trump wins, because there will be so much trepidation in the markets that yes, you'll get an immediate bounce if Trump wins. Yeah, I agree with that. You'll get a huge bump. It'll rectify itself somewhat, but you're right. If you think Trump's going to win, you'd want to heavily invest right before that election. Now, if he doesn't win, you're going to be in trouble though, because if Sanders were to win against him, it's going to tank. Funny video called Donald Trump is a dinosaur. Like I say, I can call it up. I don't put videos on the streams because I want to be able to put the streams up at the channel. Let's see. But I can put it in here to watch on my own. Donald Trump is a dinosaur. Oh, I'm not. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say second one down. Just seeing the highlights of it. Donald Trump is actually the corporate Triceratops, Mr. Richfield. I remember this. I remember the show Dinosaurs very well. That was the one with the little baby dinosaur was so freaking cute. Everybody was just agog over him. I remember that show. I'd forgotten about the boss though. Oh, Gintama, Pizza Man says, has Gintama ever been mentioned on the Goosh? Oh, definitely. Gintama gets enough support in the nominations and stuff that I feel confident at some point it'll be a series for us. Even back when we could do the reaction video streams, we used to get tons of Gintama clips in there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely gets mentioned all the time. Dragon says, you should react to the YouTuber Flying Kitty. His comedy is in your wheelhouse. He seems to be okay with the reactions. There are plenty of them. I have to look him up. I'll look him up and see what he's got, Dragon. Yeah, that's the only reason that with the reaction videos I haven't had been able to do as many requests, because again, watching the watch time and everything, I know that we have a real hardcore group still at the YouTube channel that's into anime, and that's what I'm assuming why people enjoy when I do the updates from the Goosh and the Dragon Ball Super. For those of you who didn't see today's video, you know I've been posting the Dragon Ball Super reactions edited down. I brought them over from the Goosh. Toei found them because I had them take action on 2 of them, but so far the 2 they took action on was just they are claiming the monetization. If they keep doing that, we're golden. I'll keep them there forever. I don't care about the monetization, them taking it. As long as that's what they stay with. You would think they would, because they've got to know by now, especially with the way I've got those edited, they're clearly within fair use. So if they strike me, I'm going to get it overturned, because they're the only thing is they could go for the whole block thing, and that could end up unseating things. But as long as all they're going to do is take monetization, we're good. We'll keep them up there. Ralph Nader 2020. Remember that, Red Fox? Nader made a dent in a couple of elections. I mean, he got some support. Will Go Test ever continue? I don't know, Nikki. I don't know. Those with the 2 of the last 3 ones I got copyright strikes on. I just have to decide if I want to deal with that or not, having to get them overturned and everything. And while I'm, excuse me, bringing DBS over there as well, with the potential for that to possibly get a strike at some point, probably not anytime soon. Dude who's Captain Darkonin. You see video I link about claiming your own video? I'm not sure, Shane BTG. Did you link one in the stream here, you mean? Oh no, that was before about. Yeah, I remember you. Where did you send me that message? I remember the video you were talking about. I don't know how well that would work or anything, or if I would be willing to go. Oh, it was on Patreon. I was gonna say I remember you talking. I remember seeing it. I don't know that. I'd rather just deal with the system the way it is. The only thing that really stops us, as far as the anime reactions and stuff is the blocks. Because again, when you get a block, if I put in the counterclaim and can prove my case of fair use, they don't care. They just go, well, the company said they still don't like you using their stuff, so we're going to leave the block up there. So that's where YouTube really fucked everybody. But as far as them coming in and taking the monetization, if that makes Toei happy, go for it. I mean, could I get them to stop? Yeah, if I got a lawyer, sure. Because a lawyer could force them to prove that I'm infringing on their copyright for them to be able to take the monetization. But who wants to go through all that hassle for it? It's like they want to take the pennies that videos like that make. They can have them. Let's see. Would you get blocked watching Seven Deadly Sins? Dakota, so far what we've seen, the only way I can get anime reactions up there is what you're seeing with Dragon Ball Super. And even that's not a guarantee. To where I cut them down to where you see about 4 to 5 minutes of my reaction of the entire of the entire episode. That's I've been, and the gang here that's been with me a long time will tell you, I've tried absolutely everything to be able to bring more anime reactions here to the channel. So far, that's the only thing that's working. It's working so far on DBS and on the bringing over the series that we're watching at the Goose. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Dragon says you've only missed 2 Egotas episodes so far. Yeah, that I knew. So far there haven't been any strikes on either one. They've been out for over a year. No, I got the strikes, Dragon. It wasn't on. I don't know what Egotas got themselves. The last 2 strikes, the last 3 Egotas videos I did, 2 of them got struck. Our video, not Little Kuribo's. Our video actually got struck, and I got them overturned because obviously, aside from everything else, by striking us, you're taking another step away from the actual creator of the abridged. So it wasn't hard to get them overturned. It's just, do I want to have the channel have a strike on it for those 2 to 4 weeks that it takes for me to get it overturned? And while I'm posting, when I'm posting anime clips on here of other things, I'd rather not have a strike in the back pocket. Arthur says, when are you going to stream on Pornhub? I got blue balls. I need a Pornhub channel, yeah. BTG says, quick rundown. Pay someone to create a song with you having all rights. Add it to YouTube system. Use it in an intro or outro. Get half profit rather than none. Yeah, I say for the amount of times that it happens to me, BTG, somebody taking monetization, it hasn't come to a point where it'd be worth going to all those extremes. Again, things like them taking the Toei coming in and taking the monetization from some of the reactions I post over here, have at it. If it became a big deal or it annoyed me enough to start looking for another option, that could be something that I could look into. Sodursa says, I stopped watching Seven Deadly Sins. Their animation completely tanked. It's not worth it anymore. I've heard other people complain about that, Sodursa. I don't, again, now, when I say things like that, I like to make it clear, I don't know that to be the case. I'm just saying that I've heard other people with that same sympathy there. Nacho, has Akame ga Kill ever been brought up on the Goosh? P.S. Death is waifu. Yes, Akame ga Kill has been. Akame ga Kill has been brought up. Doesn't get as much support as some of the others, but it does. It's on the radar. Put it that way. Let's see. Unfair playing. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Well, thanks. Now that statement of 69. Thanks. That song's the earworm for today. Now that'll be in there. Where's Golden? Hopefully dead, Jamie, but I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he'll be around somewhere. But yeah, it would be better for everybody if he didn't exist. On the debate for the best decade of music, I say the 60s. They had the Beatles. That's quality. Even though Ben Shapiro sees it simplistic and pretentious, even those are antonyms. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I like Ben Shapiro in general, but yeah, I definitely don't agree with him down the line on things, and that would be one of those times. Arthur says, SC is addictive. I don't have this hours to spare. Redemption says, I'll vote for Rusty Williams 2020. Yeah, well, you know what? If nothing else, it's a lot of fun for us just to be able to, especially with the podcast streams, with me having the home for the podcast be here at the YouTube channel. It's fun for us to just get to talk politics and things of that nature at least once a week. I enjoy that. Let's see. Who's Golden? Red Fox Golden is a person who has been in videos on the channel here in the past. He made YouTube almost have an aneurysm at one time. Understandably. He, if you put in, it should come up, right? I don't know. Is his name even in any of the titles of the videos? I was going to say if they put in Spaz Boys Comedy Golden, would it come up? I'm not sure. But yeah, he's disturbing. Ma says, meh, Curtis wouldn't be the first president bad touch some peeps. Very true. Good old Goldie. Let's see. Playing no game says, just throwing it here, and I know it's a cliche already, but I have severe depression. Oh, that's unfortunate. And watching your vids always makes me laugh and forget about everything else in the world, so thanks for being... Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say, my friend. Yeah, as far as depression, like I always tell you guys, see, that's basically what you're describing is the only path that I know of to really try and get ahead of it, is just incremental things. Find the stuff that makes you laugh, that makes you forget about it for a little while and stick with them. And of course, I can't, because it works for me so well, I just can't stress enough being able to do a little bit of what is classically self-hypnosis and just take yourself into the subconscious mind for a little while and just get away. It seems to be so healthy. I'm a big believer just because it works so well for me. Jamie, I love the way you think. She says, yes, bad touch me, Uncle Curtis. Find my hidden potential. Have I seen all the College Humor Batman vids? I don't think I've seen all of them, Smiggy. I got to go back through and look. I've seen a portion of them, of course, and I love College Humor. I think they're hilarious. But I don't think I've seen all of them. That would be something I should actually go back and revisit, because I would like to see more. I love the one where he can't get sex off his mind and stuff. Those were great. Hey, Samson. He says, how's it going, thick man? Going good, my friend. Glad to see you. Jeff says the TFS video saying that DBZ is over. They dissed on the last season of Scrubs. Really, the last season of Scrubs is more of a spin-off, and I think the season of Scrubs is still better than most things on TV. I like Scrubs. I didn't see much of the last season. I don't remember why, Jeff, because I liked the show, but I think something else came on opposite it or something that I was watching instead, or I don't remember. But I did like the show. I thought it was a good show. That fat guy says, ever thought about trying the Yakuza games on the channel? It seems up your alley. Only possible downside for LP purchases that they're pretty long. I know of those games. I wouldn't have an aversion to playing them. That's the type of game that I typically do enjoy. Well, I like a lot of different things. But basically what it comes down to, fat guy, is when I get close to the end of Resident Evil and or GTA 5, I'll come to you guys for suggestions. And just that's how I got those two games. It'll probably be a lot within the live streams as well. So if you can make the live streams, it'll be cool. But I'll ask you guys in the live streams for good game suggestions, and then we'll do like we did before. I'll look up more information on them and then probably make a choice from there. Jara says, do I like Attorney General Bill Barr? I think he's corrupt. I don't know if he's corrupt. I think he is too beholden to the president for his job. I don't have enough actual factual information to call the man corrupt, but I do think that he is the president's boy, put it that way. I do think, yeah, I think he's tight with Donald. Too tight for an attorney general. But no, I wouldn't go so far as to say, at least from my knowledge, corrupt. What are your thoughts on Rusev? They need to push him more. I like Rusev Dragon. Yeah, I'm with you. I like him. Guys that don't know, he's a wrestler in WWE. He's gotten better on the mic, and obviously in today's pro wrestling, your skills on the mic are just more important than they've ever been at any time in the history of pro wrestling. He's gotten better, and I like his new look. His new sleek down, harder look about him. So yeah, I think he deserves a push. I think he's always been a good wrestler, and I think he's become much more well-rounded now. And Dragon says, okay, same basic thing that I just covered. Yeah, I think he deserves a push. The big thing is, you know what's a big deal, obviously, in modern WWE is how much merchandise can he sell. And the downside for Rusev is he doesn't have anything in his gimmick yet that has caught on as really saleable. I think that would help. Well, I know that would help him a lot. If you can sell a lot of merchandise, Vince will push the shit right out of you. Push the shit right out. Ooh, that sounded Pornhubish. The Yakuza games, Big Green says, are badass, funny, and they like to kick you in the feels. I've heard only good things about them, Big Green. So like I said, I certainly wouldn't be adverse to the idea of playing them. But when we get closer, I'll ask you guys for opinions, and we'll research from there. Closer to the end of the games we're playing, I mean. Do I have a favorite band? I don't know. Well, if they're not my favorite, they're always the band I think of first. If you're just talking about go listen to music, it's Queen. And not far behind them is Aerosmith. And so, yeah, I have a bunch that I really enjoy. In the 70s, I was a big Barry Manilow nerd, too. Talk about Queen, Barry Manilow. What? Hey, Chippy Salt, good to see you. Darksiders? No, that one I don't know, Straga. I don't think I've ever heard of Darksiders. Dragon says, I don't know why they haven't put the title on Strowman. I don't either, other than it's hard when you got somebody that's that much of a monster, it's hard to take the title off him. You know what I mean? They've run into that. That was a lot of the reason that Andre the Giant never got titles put on him. Because the promotions, because back then it wasn't just WWE, but the promotions were like, okay, if we give him the strap, how do we come up with a storyline where he loses it? So I think that's part of the problem. I think Strowman will get a title run at some point, though, especially now you've got some other monsters in there, too, that can take, obviously, Lesnar's there. Oh, God. I can't think of who else I'm trying to come up with right now off the top of my head. The guy who won the Royal Rumble. He's a big boy, so I think you could put it on him and make it completely feasible that it gets taken off him. Strowman is IC champ, though. Right. So I think he'll get a major title run at some point. Red Fox, I loved Andre the Giant. I read his biography. I cried several times. Yeah, it was sad. You know what he lived with too. I mean, it was cool to see him so big, but he was so big because of a disease. Paid for. Spam. Arthur says. AC/DC was great, Smiggy. Yep, agreed. All right, guys. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go. I said, it's 4 o'clock. Wow, we had an hour and 20-minute stream. I still got some editing to do this afternoon, and we're going to have Spez Kid's birthday party. Everybody say yay! Oh, here,
Yay!
let me pull this down. Okay, now say it again. There, now they can see you.
Yay!
So we're having his birthday party. Oh, from Russia. Good to see you, my friend. We're having his birthday party tonight, so we want to go get everything ready for that as well. But guys, thank you. I love Free for All Friday. You guys see why. Right, gonna have to hide you for the spam now. Yeah, Lude. We told you guys no spam. But thank you guys for hanging out here with me in the stream. I'll probably be streaming at some point tomorrow. Sunday will definitely be a stream because it'll be the stream we have for the podcast. I know those are a little different tone to them because we don't, we stay on topic more, but once a week, I don't think it's bad to do that. But thank you for the stream. Thank you for coming in despite the really creepy, because when I looked at it a second time, I was like, ooh, the creepy thumbnail that accompanied this stream and everything. But yeah, we're gonna go party for Spaz Kid's birthday. He wants to open his presents, I'm sure. So he's got some cool. See, the cool thing is with Brax having the same type of interest that do I. His birthday are always fun for me because he gets toys that I want to play with too.
Sounds weird, but yeah.
Yeah. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you real shortly. And until then, as Em said right before she left, pumfu, sticky stuff for everybody. We'll bang flashily, like Buggy. But most important, I didn't even say that right. We'll bang, okay? Yeah, you can't miss. We'll bang, okay? Flashily like Buggy. But most importantly and forever, goosh, 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 goosh. You know what else I like that? Wow, that's awesome.